Hey y'all, we are talking about ADD and ADHD, and I just used my ADD to reference my Southern 4 years in chiropractic school with a y'all for you guys. So guess what? Let's celebrate our ADD and our ADHD. And what do I mean by that? I mean tons. Studies vary anywhere from 60 to 90% of Fortune 500 CEOs have ADD and ADHD. So guess what, parents? Guess what? If you're the one who struggles with it, you don't have to be concerned like, oh my gosh, this is like a really bad thing. Actually, let's get excited. This is a good thing. I don't usually use notes when I'm taking a video, but I want to make sure I can explain to you why it's exciting to put actual names and faces and qualities to what happens when you have ADD or ADHD. So, Jim Carrey, pretty successful comedian, huh? Walt Disney, few of you might know him. Richard Branson. If you don't know that guy and you like business owners and entrepreneurs and money, well, go look that guy up. He owns more than you can imagine. Bill Gates, like him or love him, he's got a ton of money. Howie Mandel, got the same issue, right? Issue. It's not an issue. Let's change our perspective. It's actually a really good attribute. But like any attribute, any personality, we have to use it to its best ability and not to its worst. So there's pros and cons. Guess what? There's pros and cons to being introverted and being extroverted. And there's no pill that I know of that changes you from an introvert to an extrovert. And there's no pill that changes you from an extrovert to introvert, because people would give that to me if they could change me, and they can't. Sorry, guys. What are some qualities? Some great qualities is you're spontaneous. Well, some of us think that's great. You're creative. You're energetic. Have you ever seen someone put on meds for ADD and ADHD, excuse my words there, that are still energetic? No, it kind of takes that away, doesn't it? You're intuitive. You are imaginative, and you're inventive. Almost all of our inventors had this quality, right? So if you don't want things invented, if you don't like light, if you don't like your dishwasher, if you don't like your telephone that we're recording on right now, hey man, let's just give everyone these meds to change them back into exactly the zombies we want them to be. I'm not saying this isn't an issue. I'm not saying there's not things we need to do about it. There are things that can be and need to be done, but let's work with that quality instead of against it. So that is a challenging thing to do. Why? Because most things we do in modern times, like taking in sugar, taking in different food colors and food dyes, and our whole environment where we get all these instantaneous hits from playing video games or from being on Facebook and getting a like or a love, these all actually make our ADD and ADHD worse, because now we're seeking out those dopamine hits as someone who has this, even more than person that's not qualify as that. So we do have to set up some boundaries. We might have to write down some notes. We might have to be more organized around that person so we can help keep them organized. And yes, this is time consuming. This takes energy. I am a parent. I'm not saying it's easy to help a child that has ADD, ADHD, especially if you're someone who also has that quality, which happens in most cases because the apple doesn't fall that far from the tree in this case, right? So what's the goal? The goal is to how can we utilize this skill set so they can get the most out of it? Meaning, if they is you, how can you get the most out of it? Or if they is your child, your grandchild, someone else around you, how can we use their energy to provide us with more energy? Probably don't be around them right before you're trying to go to bed, but otherwise, when we're awake, it's good to be around energetic people, right? Great. So if this was helpful, share it with a family, share it with a friend. If you have any feedback, if you're an expert in how to maximize the benefits of having ADD and ADHD and not put it aside like it's some evil thing that's terrible, please share with me, because I would like to grow in this and I would like to improve. I know there's a lot of experts out there that are either counselors, they're psychologists, they're different types of fields that can help us maximize our qualities so we can be better for the world around us and for our friends and family that struggle themselves or have kids or family members that struggle with this. So let's help each other out. Share below And everyone have a great day. Thanks. Dr. Keith here at Back to Health.